أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون. By the inkstands, and by the pen, and by that which they write, thou art not, by the grace of thy Lord, a madman. Surah Al-Qalam, chapter 68, verses 1 through 3. सफ़े दुश्मन को किया हमने बहुज्जत पामाल, सैफ का काम कलम से है दिखाया हमने. The rank and file enemies we have destroyed through powerful arguments. The work of the sword we have performed with our pen. Respected Naib Amir Jamaat USA and my dear brothers, it goes without saying that Islam today is under intense media scrutiny. On average, nearly 150 articles are written about Islam per week. The pace of publication is frantic. Professors, politicians, pundits, and priests. It seems most everyone these days has a view of Islam. The cacophony of voices, the clatter surrounding Islam in the media is loud and unmistakable. Take only the past 6 months. You may have encountered articles written by dozens of commentators, such as Professor James Arlinson, Pat Robertson, Daniel Pipes, Charles Moore, and the like. Of course, as custodians of Ahmadiyya, the true Islam, we have an affirmative duty to engage in dialogue and discussion with those who attack the foundations of our faith. This duty is not an ordinary one. Indeed, it is a part of our lifelong struggle to defend Islam with our pens. My task today, in the next few minutes, is to introduce you to the concept of Qalami Jihad, or Jihad of the pen, and to a team of writers within our Jamaat today, dedicated to the continuing vitality of this Jihad, Majlis Sultanul Qalam, USA. I've divided my speech into 3 parts. In part 1, I will describe briefly the origin and history of the concept of Jihad of the pen. In part 2, I will describe how Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salam, the promised Messiah and reformer of our age, practically manifested the concept of Jihad of the pen in his own life. And in part 3, I will describe the current activities and the vision of Majlis Sultanul Qalam, USA. Turning to the first part. A century ago, Hazrat Masih Maud was able to successfully defend Islam by waging a battle that was never before fought in history. A battle without weapons, without blood, without territories lost, without territories gained. A battle instead of ideas, where the ultimate weapon became the pen. Introducing this new jihad to the world, Hazrat Masih Maud writes, Islam par jo hamle hote hain, wo kalam ke zariye hote hain. Isliye zaruri hai कि कलम ही के जरिए उनका जवाब दिया जावे. अल्लाह ताला कुरान शरीफ में एक मुकाम पर फरमाता है कि जिस किस्म की तैयारियां तुम्हारे मुखालिफ करते हैं, तुम भी वैसी ही तैयारियां करो. अब कुफार की तैयारियां जो इस्लाम के खिलाफ हो रही हैं, उनको देखो, वो किस किस्म की हैं. ये नहीं कि वो फौजें जमा करते हों, नहीं, बल्कि वो तो तरह तरह की किताबें और रिसाले शाया करते हैं. इसलिए हमारा भी फर्ज है कि हम भी उनके जवाब में कलम उठाएं और रिसालों और किताबों के जरिए उनके हमलों को रोकें. He says, it is with the pen that Islam is being attacked. That is why it is necessary that the pen should be used to rebut the attacks. God the Almighty says in the Holy Quran that you should make preparation to defend yourselves with the same kind of weapons as the opponents happen to use. Think of the preparations that the opponents of Islam are now making. They are not lining up in armies. They are publishing magazines and books. We also should not use the sword. We should pick up our pen and answer their attacks with magazines and books. Malfuzat, Volume 8, page 20. Contrary to what his opponents proclaimed, Hazrat Masih Maud acknowledged three types of jihad. Jihad-e-Akbar, or the greatest jihad, was the jihad to purify one's inner self. Jihad-e-Asghar, or the lesser jihad, was the jihad of physical self-defense. Finally, Jihad-e-Kabir, or the great jihad, was the jihad to propagate the truth of Islam through the Quran. Hazrat Masih Maud defined Kalami jihad as a vital component of Jihad-e-Kabir, the only jihad in his view that was necessary to withstand the intellectual attacks on Islam in the 19th and 20th centuries. Indeed, his philosophy embodied the beautiful hadith of Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The ink of the scholar is holier than the blood of the martyr. In Islam's defense, Hazrat Masih Maud used the very weapon his opponents used, the pen. Indeed, the Quran alludes to this intellectual weapon in the verse I recited at the beginning of my speech, Noon wal kalame wa ma yasturun, ma anta bi ni'mati rabbika bi majnun. By the inkstand and by the pen and by that which they write, thou art not, you, Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are not, by the grace of Allah, a madman. Now, having briefly explained the concept of jihad of the pen, let me now turn to how Hazrat Masih Maud practically waged this jihad during his life, part 2 of my speech. Hazrat Masih Maud's entire life was dedicated to silencing Islam's opponents through the written word. In a span of 26 years, from 1882 to 1908, he wrote over 80 books. He responded to Christians, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Jews, and Buddhists. He wrote in Urdu, Persian, and Arabic. He wrote about every major facet of Islam and responded to every major criticism against Islam. Between 1882 and 1890, Hazrat Masih Maud responded to 90,000 letters, 1,000 letters a month, over 30 letters a day, all in defense of Islam. He was a vigorous and prolific writer, and his work received wide-ranging critical acclaim. Even his bitterest enemy, Maulvi Muhammad Hussain of Batala, leader of the Ahl Hadith sect of Islam, had this to say about Hazrat Masih Maud's writings. Quote, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad has proved himself so steadfast in the service of Islam through his pen that few instances are to be found among the Muslims. Nihatus Sunnah, Volume 7, number 6-11. Indeed, as the ultimate sign of the strength of his commitment to jihad by the pen, Hazrat Masih Maud himself was told by Allah Ta'ala in a revelation on June 17th, 1901, Allah Ta'ala ne is ajiz ka naam, Allah Ta'ala ne is ajiz ka naam Sultanul Qalam rakha, aur mere kalam ko Zulfikar Ali farmaya. Allah has named me Sultanul Qalam, the king of pens, and has called my pen the Zulfikar Ali, the sword of Ali. Al-Hakam, Volume 5, number 22, page 2.